know that you are watching the English news of Lào Cai Radio and Television. In today's program, we will check out the following headlines.
Lào Cai is identified as one of the 6 key growth areas in the north central and northern mountainous regions. In the first 4 months of the year, the total revenue from tourism reached nearly 9,000 billion. Education on the historic victory of Dien Bien Phu. Following are the detailed contents. Please join us in watching the program. In Decision 369, recently approved by the Prime Minister on the planning of the North Central and Northern Mountainous regions for the period 2021 to 2030, with a vision to 2050, Lào Cai is identified as one of the 6 growth poles of the region. The main task and breakthrough stage is to accelerate the progress, prepare and commence the construction of high-speed railway lines from Lào Cai to Hanoi, Haiphong and Quang Ninh. To build and upgrade logistics infrastructure for border economic zones, tourist areas, information and communication infrastructure, digital economy infrastructure, to develop the growth poles of the region, process products from medicinal plants, focus on developing efficient resource-saving and environmentally friendly mining and processing industries. Along with the development of the economy, based on the strengths of each province, the region will focus on developing agriculture, including developing cinnamon and cardamom regions. In the first 4 months of the year, despite many economic sectors facing difficulties, the total mobilized capital in Lào Cai province through credit institutions still increased by nearly 3%. Specifically, as of the end of April, the total mobilized capital reached 47,500 billion VND, an increase of nearly 1,500 billion VND. The total outstanding loans for the past 4 months reached 57,200 billion VND, an increase of 2.87% compared to the end of 2023. The credit growth achieved good results, contributing to supporting businesses in maintaining and expanding production and business, promoting economic recovery and development. According to the assessment of the State Bank of Vietnam's branch in Lào Cai province, credit activities in the area are tightly controlled, and deposit interest rates are strictly implemented. In particular, the credit structure continues to shift positively, focusing capital on priority sectors for lending, according to the government's direction. In this period, the number of tourists visiting Lào Cai reached nearly 2.8 million, an increase of 5.88% compared to the same period last year, and equivalent to 1/3 of the target for 2024. Of these, there were nearly 300,000 international visitors. To attract tourists, Lào Cai has successfully organized many attractive tourism programs and events, highlighting the cultural characteristics and ethnic identity. The tourism products have been increasingly diversified and invested to meet the growing demand of domestic and foreign tourists. The promotion and advertising of tourism have been given attention and focused on setting breakthrough targets and solutions. Along with that, tourism-serving projects have also been strongly invested in from non-budget sources, especially in key tourism areas of the province. By the end of the first quarter of 2024, the entire province had resolved employment for nearly 5,000 workers, achieving 34.2% of the annual target set. In the first quarter, the Department of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs collaborated with localities and units to promote and mobilize workers to return to the labor market immediately after Tet to stabilize their jobs and income. At the same time, they announced the labor recruitment needs of enterprises inside and outside the province to workers, disseminated, advised on labor policies, employment, vocational training, and labor export for 2,981 individuals. In 2024, Lào Cai aims to create new employment for nearly 14,500 workers, including sending 200 workers to work abroad under contracts. In the future, the province will continue to build and improve the data information system on the labor market and employment in each locality and throughout the province.
70 years have passed, but the memories of those glorious days still remain intact in the minds of the Dien Bien soldiers, the young volunteers, and the former civilian soldiers. They are the ones who contributed to the magnificent victory that shook the continents and the world. For the younger generation today, this historical event of our nation, more than 7 decades ago, still exists through the creative traditional educational lessons of each school. This is the Do Cat Bunker, the command bunker of the Dien Bien Phu stronghold, and this is the bicycle cart, a means of transportation that supplied weapons and food for the combat, a symbol of the spirit and will of our soldiers and people during the Dien Bien Phu campaign. These models are built by teachers to help students have interesting experiential lessons, to understand, love, and be proud of the history of their nation. This bicycle is used to carry guns, ammunition, and food, traveling on difficult and dangerous roads. Therefore, sometimes it had to be camouflaged with branches and leaves. I have learned about the victory of Dien Bien Phu and have also visited the models at school. Thanks to that, I understand the lesson more deeply. Even without white chalk and blackboard, the students are still engaged in interesting lessons because they can witness the models that simulate the past campaign, with Hill A1, the working area of General Vong Nguyen Giap in the fierce battlefield of Dien Bien Phu. In this way, historical knowledge is deeply ingrained in their memory. Students also watch TV and access various channels. When they come to school, they are shown the models by teachers, and they are very excited and understand the important significance of the victory of Dien Bien Phu. Breaking free from dry and rigid lesson plans, teachers have brought more attractive historical knowledge to students. In addition to the model deployed at Can Yen Thuong Primary School over the past 3 years in Van Ban District, as well as other localities in the province, more and more models like this have appeared. Teachers have many ways to create interest for students, such as theatrical performances, the application of information technology, or inviting witnesses to talk to them so that they can experience and learn effectively. Creativity knows no bounds, especially creativity in education always brings many humanistic meanings and values. And with their creativity, teachers in the highland region of Lào Cai are arousing the love for history and the enthusiasm for learning of students, nurturing their love for their homeland and country through understanding the glorious victories of the whole nation.
The Provincial Endocrinology Hospital is the first healthcare unit in Lào Cai to install and operate an automatic health check-in kiosk using chip-embedded ID cards. Regularly every month, Mr. Vu Thin visits the endocrinology hospital for examination and diabetes treatment. Today, for the first time using the automatic health check-in kiosk using chip-embedded ID cards, it only took about 1 minute for Mr. Webb Thin to get his queue number and choose the desired examination room.
I find the interface simple, easy to understand, and easy to operate. As for facial recognition, there is a slight delay, but basically it is very convenient. I think this software will be more convenient than getting a number manually.
For healthcare staff and the hospital, this kiosk helps increase work efficiency and reduce errors. Doctors can proactively receive information, quickly and conveniently track patients' examination history. At the beginning, to help people not be confused, the hospital arranged healthcare staff to support and guide people in using the kiosk. There will be many cases where we have to support them completely. There will be cases where the elderly have difficulty, or patients in remote areas do not know how to operate, or even those who do not know how to read, so we have to guide them. After 2 weeks of testing, about 500 patients have used this device. Currently, the hospital is linking with banks, so that patients can track costs and make online payments, update full patient information, and improve facial recognition sensitivity, and so on.
We will continue to coordinate with suppliers to modify and overcome existing shortcomings to bring the automatic check-in kiosk into the process of registering for medical examination and treatment at the hospital and make it a regular service, helping people to come for examination and treatment conveniently, and also contributing to the province's digital transformation campaign.
The automatic health check-in kiosk using chip-embedded ID cards contributes to improving the quality of healthcare services, providing convenience and satisfaction for people when coming for examination and treatment at healthcare facilities.
Our program today is ending. Thank you for your attention.